Normalcy has been restored to Runji Sakwab Community in Atyap, Chiefdom of Zango, Kataf, local government area, Kaduna State, following the mass burial of 33 persons killed by bandits on Saturday night. Now, 33 persons were gruesomely murdered in their sleep and their houses razed, such that 19 of the corpses were burnt beyond recognition. Speaking at the mass burial ceremony, the local government chairman, Mr. Sani Zimbo, expressed shock over the incident, saying it was an unprovoked attack on the people. He said Runji Sankwab was the third community to experience the series of attacks within a space of about 30 days in the Atyap communities. Zimbo, who decried the killings, disclosed that while the local government has held several security meetings to unravel reasons behind the repeated attacks and profile possible solutions aimed at putting a stop to the carnage, however, lamented their efforts were all to no avail. The National President Atyap Community Development Association, Comrade Timbuak Samuel Achi, called on the entire Atyap community to unite and defend themselves whenever faced with such genocidal threat. Now moving on, the Nigeria Bar Association has appealed to the abductors of its former president, Mr. Okewale, a senior advocate of Nigeria, to release him without harm. Now, NBA President Yakubu Maikau said the passionate plea on Tuesday. Now, Wale was reportedly abducted in the early hours of Monday, 17th, 2023, after his convoy was allegedly attacked along East-West Road in Obio Akpo local government area of Rivers State. Mike Yao said Wale was the 26th president of the NBA and has served the nation in varying capacities, contributing immensely to the growth of the legal practice and in the promotion and entrenchment of the rule of law. He urged the Inspector General of Police and the Commissioner of Police, Rivers State Command, to leave no stone unturned as they work towards the safe release of their dear learned friend. So the Independent National Electoral Commission on Monday ordered the Resident Electoral Commissioner for Adamawa State, Hudu Yunusari, to stay away from the Commission's state office. Now, INEC's action was premised on Yunusa Ari's declaration of the All Progressives Congress governorship candidate Aisha Dahiru, popularly known as Binani, as the governor-elect in Saturday's supplementary election. The commission also barred the REC from coming to the office in a letter signed by the secretary to the commission, Rose Oriharan Anthony. Now, the REC's action continued to attract criticism on Monday as the People's Democratic Party governors called for his prosecution. Bobinani at the Federal High Court in Abuja on Monday filed a suit seeking an order to prevent INEC and its agents from taking any further step towards the declaration of the winner of the election, pending the determination of our court case. Now, Yunisari had announced Binani as the winner of the supplementary polls while the collation of the results was underway, causing confusion in the state and drawing consternation across the country. One of the four aggrieved aspirants at the just concluded governorship primary of the All Progressives Congress in Kogi State, Senator Smart Adeyemi, has accused Governor Yaya Bello of imposing his cousin on the state. Now, Adeyemi on Monday swore that contrary to the alleged forged results sent to the party's national secretariat, no APC primary election was held in the state. He said Ododo, who was purported to have won the election, is a cousin of Governor Yaya Bello, as there was no election, and if the development is allowed to stay, a time will come when the governor will impose his son on the state in the worst form of nepotism. The Secretary of the Election Committee, Patrick, had on Friday announced the former Auditor General of Local Government in Kogi State, Ahmed Ododo, as the winner of the governorship primary. Ododo polled 78,704 votes to beat 6 other contestants, including Adeyemi, who came 7th with 311 votes. But public lawmakers representing Kogi West Senatorial District strongly expressed reservations, saying the entire process was a charade geared towards installing Bello-appointed candidates as the next governor of the state. Okay, now going into the Kogi State governorship election with the challenges of the 2023 general election still facing the Independent National Electoral Commission, many Nigerians are asking if the commission is ready for, off-cycle elections. Now, joining us on that conversation to take a look at it is public analyst Matthew Oluko. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we go straight into it. With the whole situation surrounding the, just concluded general elections, we can see the case of Adamawa, the whole drama, happening. Now, let's take the case of Osun State election also. We saw the way everyone actually praised INEC on doing a good job in the Osun State election. Now, do you think we can actually count on INEC to do a better job in this Kogi State coming election?
To be quite honest with you, Nigerians have lost confidence in the ability of INEC to conduct free, fair, and credible election. This is not far-fetched because there's a perception about the just concluded presidential and governorship election, particularly the presidential election, where INEC failed to live up to their guideline in uploading election results directly from the polling unit to IRF and the INEC server. So to that extent, it is very difficult to convince Nigerians to rekindle their hope and confidence in the ability of INEC to conduct a free, fair, and credible election. But having said that, I think the stake in off-cycle election, particularly gubernatorial election, House of Assembly elections, and perhaps senatorial election, the stake may not be as high as when you are looking at the national election that has to do with the presidential election. So, to an extent, INEC may be able to conduct an election that may be generally acceptable to the stakeholders. Because the reason you often see litigation after election is because people are dissatisfied with the process.
Yeah, sure.
So if you conduct an election that if you as a loser, even if you go to court, you may end up spending your resources and you may not have evidence to challenge the process. I don't think Nigerians or politicians will want to go to court.
Okay. So with the emergence of, let's look at Dino Melaye now. He emerged he emerged as the gubernatorial candidate for the PDP, and that is the Kogi West. Now, Wike made a statement a week ago that Dino does not have the capacity, to become governor. Now, do we trust Wike's word? Or let me put it this way. Dino Melaye winning the governorship ticket for the Kogi West, what does it mean for the people of Kogi State?
There are so many variables you look at when you are looking at each state, because each state is peculiar in its nature. Because I think one thing that is common to almost every state in Nigeria is all the states have 3 senatorial districts. Each of the states have 3 senatorial districts. So to that extent, you look at how is the position of governorship being appropriated in each state. In some state, you have a situation where it is what I would call TBT, turn by turn. It goes from one senatorial district to the other senatorial district. But if you look at Kogi State in particular, I think there is this an issue in Kogi State that needs to be addressed. Because just like any other state have said, that normally have 3 senatorial districts, if you look at Kogi State, you understand that the 3 senatorial district is Kogi East, Kogi Central, and Kogi West. And if you look at the number of local governments, you understand that Kogi East is having 9 local governments, which is the largest senatorial district in the state, followed by Kogi West, that has 7, then followed by Kogi Central, that has 5. Then looking at Dino Melaye as a person, vis-a-vis his chances of winning the election, his zone is now having 7 local governments. And the zone of the central zone, where you are now having the APC candidate, is having 5 local governments. But the argument is there are people who feel that because the, Kogi East had the position of the governor from 1999 to 2015, which is 16 years rule.
Yeah.
That may be reason the governor want to retain the governorship, his own senatorial district, which is Kogi Central. But again, it has to be seen how he will be able to manage that situation now that he's already been accused of trying to force his cousin on the people and coming from a party stalwart.
I was actually going to come to that because you mentioned a turn-by-turn,
scenario.
Yes. Do you think that is the card Jaya Bello is trying to, play and give to the people of Kogi State by imposing his cousin?
When I mean turn by turn, it is always a situation because it is believed that if a senatorial district rules, the other senatorial district should have their own fair share in terms of ruling. The same thing is applicable to even Nigeria as an entity. A situation where you see if they not rule for 8 years, the South start clamoring for their turn. Vis-a-vis, it has always been like that since 1999 up to date. So having said that, it's not it's the same thing when it comes to state election. But again, like I was saying, you have a situation where even the Kogi Central, where the incumbent governor comes from, has the least number of local governments. And that is where you are now getting another candidate to take off from, to fly the flag of APC for the forthcoming gubernatorial election in that state. So you have to be seen how the APC as a party will manage that situation, owing to the fact that you already hearing people who are from the same party who perhaps contested the primary and lost out, alleging that there was no primary at all. Because if you look at what Smart Adeyemi, who doubles as of course, is the senator representing Kogi West currently in the Senate, he's alleging that there was no election in that there was no election at all. And again, one begin to wonder, the APC adopted direct primary. And naturally, once you go through direct primary, you're supposed to throw up a popular candidate. That best explain the reason, because when in the last general election, particularly gubernatorial election.
Okay, I will have to, sorry, I have to cut you there. We have actually run out of time. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Matthew Luko, for coming on the show. Really appreciate your time.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
And now, UK Foreign Secretary James Cleverly has once again met U.S. counterpart Anthony Blinken to discuss the situation in Sudan, with both raising concerns about the assault on the European Union ambassador to Sudan and the attack on a U.S. embassy convoy in Sudan's capital, Khartoum. Now, Mr. Blinken, in a statement, said indiscriminate military operation have resulted in significant deaths and reckless endangering the Sudanese people and diplomats. He reiterated his earlier call for a 24-hour ceasefire to allow Sudanese to safely reunite with their families and to obtain desperately needed relief supplies.